Hey everybody, I'm Kate Conroy.
And I'm Vanessa Vitello.
And this is Other People's Business, which is the podcast from the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, which is the largest business association in the dang country. For more info on us, visit njbia.org. We release a new episode every other Friday, so be on the lookout. Shout out to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance. They provide home, auto, and workers' comp insurance, and they're the official sponsor of the show. And big shout out to Mr. John Hardiman, who works at NJM, and he's kind of high up there, and he sent me a little note not long ago letting me know that he's a listener, and he thinks the show is great.
That's good to know.
I know, right? It was like a big relief because
our sponsor likes the show.
Right? It's kind of a big deal. I'm pretty excited, to be honest with you, yeah. Anyway.
It's like people actually listen.
It's exactly, yeah.
Contrary to popular belief and opinion, people actually listen.
I've always told people that when we record this, I just pretend that it's us in the room and that, like,
that's
nobody's going to hear this. That's the only way I get through it, you know?
Same. It's the only, even right now, because I just looked at the camera, I'm having, difficulty taking a deep breath right now, getting enough air in. But I'll be fine. Okay. It's just us in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
I think you forgot to press record, actually.
Don't do that to me. That's like when you're in the car and you want to mess with somebody and you're like, did you lock the door?
Is the oven on?
Yeah, exactly.
I think maybe.
No, we definitely hit record.
I know, I'm sorry. But it makes me feel better if we didn't.
Yeah, well, it would, because then we'd wind up doing the whole thing all over again.
You're right, okay, never mind, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, fine.
So before we get started, a couple housekeeping matters, and this might be rough because for those of you watching on the YouTube, this is the script that Kate printed out for me. I guess the toner is running out in the printer, so there might as well not be a script here.
She's acting like there's no other printers in the world.
Exactly. We've got 9 of them and a perfectly competent IT staff. Shout out to all of them.
You know what? Shout out to Gary Fuller, because I actually, 2 weeks ago, I let him know that the toner in my printer was running low, and he said that he was on it, he was going to get it in. All I had to do was let him know when I was ready for more, and I guess I'm ready for more.
You have your own printer?
Yes.
Fancy,
she's fancy.
Right?
Special.
All right. So I'm going to try to do this off the cuff. So before we get started, just a couple housekeeping matters. Our show drops every other Friday on your podcast network of choice. If you're not into the whole podcast scene, you just want... Yeah, look at me. I've got my hands in my hands.
Sorry, for those of you who are not watching.
Yeah.
And just listening.
My hands are folded in my lap.
He's handcuffed to himself.
Zip-tied, you might say.
Zip-tied, you might say. Because I don't know if you remember, but a couple of episodes ago on the Bill Spadia episode, you had been giving me quite a lot of grief.
No, I gave you grief 4 episodes prior to that.
Okay, off the air, you gave me a lot of grief about some stuff. And
sure.
I said to you...
Off the air, Kate gives me a lot of grief.
That's inaccurate.
Only
but
on
anyway,
the air. Yeah.
I said, you talk with your hands a lot.
Yeah.
And I did this. I'm waving my hands around, hitting almost Daniela right in the face.
Almost.
You can feel the breeze, can't you?
I really could. It's hot in here. It's getting hot in here.
Apparently...
Spoiler alert to who's going to be on the show.
Spoiler. So apparently, Vinny has decided to show me up and just let me know that you can talk.
I can.
With your hands
I'm
folded.
Fully capable.
Wow.
Exactly.
I love it.
Showing me.
But now I don't even remember what I was saying. So I don't know. Oh yeah, you can listen to us on your podcast network of choice. If you're not into the whole podcast thing, you just want to see these smiling faces every other Friday, we put this show on YouTube and it's really successful there. If you want to check us out, youtube.com/njbia, or you can subscribe to this on the podcast networks at njbia.org/subscribe. Yeah. Do we talk about anything? So if you're listening to this show on a podcast network that allows ratings and reviews, we would totally appreciate the 5-star review. Helps us get discovered by more awesome listeners just like you. If you love us, give us that full 5 stars. If you hate us, I don't even know what to tell you.
Still get 5 stars.
Yeah, still get the 5 stars. See, I love it. That's actually legitimately good advice.
I like that. Yeah. And you know what? If you're a person like me, who's a little technologically deficient, and you don't quite know how to do...
Like you? Talking with your hands there?
Wow.
Go ahead. If you're a person like you that's technologically deficient.
Thank you. And you need a little help, and you want to give us the 5-star, but you just cannot figure out how to do it, just call us. We will help you figure it out.
opb@njbia.org is where you can go to do that.
We will walk you through it.
Huh.
Absolutely.
So several episodes ago, we had Rashad Bajwa on our show for the second time, and he asked if he was the first person to be on our show more than once. And we told him no. We had Daniela Velez on. And then it got me thinking that now, like, Rashad and Daniela were tied for the most amount of, like, appearances on our show.
Right.
So we decided to have Daniela Velez back for a third time just so she could break her own record.
Thank you.
It's our first three-peat, right?
Our first three-peat. Yeah.
First three-peat.
You know that's actually a copyrighted word?
No way.
Yeah, like Pat Riley copyrighted the word three-peat because like he was going to make like tons and tons of money on t-shirts and everything that said that when they won the championship 3 times in a row.
But they didn't
Look at
win?
me breaking out the sports knowledge, yeah.
I know,
Who
but
are
did they
you right
win?
I
now?
know.
Did they win?
Yes, they did.
Did he put that on t-shirts?
Yeah. I don't know if he made like truckloads of money. I'm sure he did, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
I don't know what the long-term value of having a copyright on a word like that would be. If it was me, I'd copyright a word like is or the.
Bazinga.
Those things get used a
Bazinga's
lot
a
more
great word.
often. Yeah. I mean, bazinga's kind of in the same line
Yeah,
as
you're right.
three-peat. Like,
You're
you know, you got to have like a good reason to use it. But anyway, Daniela, say hi. Let the audience hear your voice.
Hi, guys. Thank you for having me again.
Absolutely.
You're very welcome.
Tell us what you do here at NJBIA.
So, yes, as a reminder,
Well, maybe not a reminder. Do you do different stuff now? We recently had a reorg. So
We did. We had a reorg.
We did. No, still I do membership services and recruitment. So my job is to work with the non-members who are interested about NJBIA, teaching them and giving them the tools that we offered, going over different benefits such as our healthcare plans, healthcare benefits, excuse me, our savings with UPS, shipping and handling that we do. We also have disability insurance. You know, we're getting ready to roll out different programs for our members. So that's my job, is basically seeing if NJBIA is a good fit and then working through them through the process of them joining.
Awesome. So you mentioned the health benefits. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so NJBIA rolled out a program that allows small businesses buy in and into our health care benefit plans. So businesses get to pick and choose, and they work with Association Master Trust, and they offer about 45 plans with either high deductibles, low deductibles, and you know, they fit and they create a health care benefit packet that fits them and their employees.
Cool.
Really cool.
So I guess if you're like a small company or whatever, and
you're looking for health benefits.
That is like the thing that our members consistently,
Yes.
every single year, tell us is their biggest pain point is offering affordable health
Healthcare.
benefit solution
Yeah.
to their employees because it's so expensive in New Jersey.
yeah.
I mean, it's expensive everywhere, I feel like now, but New Jersey's,
No, I feel like we're pretty much up there as one of the
Yeah,
most
we are.
expensive in the nation.
We
if not
totally
the-
are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, we totally are.
All right, so you got an icebreaker for us?
I do, and it's a really good one too.
Cool.
If you had to delete all but 3 apps from your phone, what would you keep? And before you answer, I want to just clarify that the texting app is standard on your phone.
So like base functionality of the phone does not count.
Correct. The phone app, the little green thing that's got the picture of the
Sure.
telephone on it.
Yeah.
That's not like
And
that's just
texting and email.
Yeah.
texting and email.
And the
yeah.
web browser are base functionality
Right.
of the
Yes.
phone.
I'm
Okay.
talking Instagram, Facebook,
Sure.
the nonsense.
All right, you want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it would have to be Pinterest, Instagram. Oh God, what is my third? I had it, and then it was.
Well, wait,
gone.
before we get to the third, Pinterest, really?
I know,
Like,
but
who
it's,
uses that anymore?
what?
What do you use Pinterest for?
I pin recipes and I pin
Wait.
inspirational.
Isn't there a couple like episodes
Inspirational
back someone
quotes?
was telling us about their eating habits?
Yeah. So when we had Bill Spady on this show, you were talking about your eating habits. You have like a handful of popcorn for dinner
can't
and a
believe
chai latte for breakfast.
Wow. So it's-
what recipes are you pulling up on Pinterest?
I cannot believe you just did that. Wow, you really went there. So okay.
I went there, I built a cottage. I rented it out on Airbnb. And we're there. So go ahead.
So I might cook someday is the thing.
Someday. It's not even a day. It's a someday.
I might cook someday, and I actually am a decent cook, but it's just me. I don't have anybody to cook for.
Yeah.
So
Fair.
yeah, but so I've been recently toying with this idea of it's called chicken fried rice.
Sounds
So
really
it's
good.
ground chicken, and you marinate it in soy sauce, and then when you're ready, you fry it up, and you add like frozen vegetables and rice and a fried egg to it, and it's like dinner, and it's very few calories, and it's delicious. So I've been toying with that idea recently.
That sounds like the kind of thing that'd be really good to make in a wok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Huh?
I agree. Yeah. So Pinterest
Okay.
is on my list.
Pinterest,
Thank
sure.
you very much.
What was the second one?
Instagram.
Instagram. Only because Instagram is specifically for your phone. It is not an app that the computer
Yeah.
talks to or likes. You can't do it on a
it
computer.
looks weird.
Right, it looks weird.
And you're pushing like 100,000 followers at this
Yeah,
point.
she's
So I don't know if you
famous.
could give that
You
up.
better give that handle for that follow.
Yeah, so it's like this weird little thing that I do. The handle is the letter K and the number 8 as in Kate, and then my last name Conroy. I really need to change that username because it has nothing to do with me anymore.
Yeah.
In fact, I recently started a Rinsta account, which is the word for real Instagram versus Finsta, which is fake Instagram. So the Kate Conroy, the K8 Conroy is my fake Instagram. It's all about Kate Middleton, and I
Yeah,
post
it's like a funny thing. And
Yeah.
if you find this show funny, it's probably because you find Kate funny.
Exactly.
Or you.
Or me, but like
Yeah.
also Kate. So check it out.
Yeah, I've got like 97,000 followers, which blows my mind.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Famous.
so I can't think of a third one off the top of my head. What are yours? Maybe I'll come up with something.
Oh man, I hadn't thought about it at all actually. We're gonna just go to Daniela. First, and I'll think of it.
You're a big fan of Twitter.
Twitter,
Oh,
That's
man.
just
Uber Eats,
Uber.
and Netflix.
Uber. I think Uber would. Netflix.
Yes.
Ooh, I keep changing my mind.
Uber Eats, Netflix, and Twitter. I
Dang.
would totally keep those. I don't need anything else in my life.
Now Uber Eats, that's just the one. Is that the one where they like drive the food to you?
Yes,
They do that in our
it is
area.
the
I thought that was
best
only like
thing
major
ever.
cities.
It costs more though, right?
Well, I mean, you got to pay like the
Yeah,
drivers.
but
so.
it's not. I use it at Rutgers all the time because I'm just too lazy.
So the food, you order it from a restaurant,
Yes.
and then you order an Uber driver to pick it up and bring it to you.
No, they have like Uber drivers assigned to certain restaurants, and they'll just deliver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like such an
greatest
elderly
thing ever.
person right
Oh,
now that I
it's-
didn't
it's
have any
great.
idea that
It's great.
existed.
I knew it existed. I didn't know they did it in our areas. Like, you just assume that that's like a New York City,
Yeah.
Los Angeles kind of thing.
No,
Yeah, I
they
totally
do
would.
it, and it's great. It is a great thing to have on your phone.
Well,
So
Yeah.
download it and use it.
I don't think I would do Uber Eats, but I definitely think I would do Uber.
regular Uber.
Ooh, yeah, so Pinterest, Instagram, and Uber.
Okay.
That's me. What about you?
Ah, crap! It's already.
It's you
already
again.
back to
I
me.
know,
I, didn't,
right?
I still didn't think about it.
Come on.
All right, so Instagram would definitely be one of them. I
Right.
like
Yeah.
Instagram. I wouldn't do Facebook. I'm not feeling Facebook.
Yeah, you don't know. None of us
And
did
it's on the
Facebook.
computer. Oh,
Yeah, it's on the computer.
I don't know. Twitter's my thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Marvel Unlimited.
That's an app?
That's an app. So like, basically, Marvel Comics put their entire library of comic books
Wow.
on this one app.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and you can just read it. I mean, it costs
free?
money.
Yeah, I was
No,
gonna
it
say,
definitely
like-
costs money. There's like a $69 a year subscription, but for $69 a year,
I thought
can
you were
keep up
gonna
on
say
all that.
monthly. I was about to say like you got money like that.
No,
I know,
$69 a month would be like way more
Moneybags
than I
over
would
here.
probably
Yeah,
spend
exactly.
on
You got
comics.
that money.
Yeah.
Before Chloe takes it all.
Yeah, exactly. So the two of them, I don't know. Yeah, what would be your? Did you do the third one? I know we were going
I
to come
did
back
Uber.
to. You did Uber, damn.
You're.
Yeah.
Should I?
this is
Should
why.
we get a phone that's on airplane mode and scroll through and give you some options?
No, it's
No,
fine.
okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go with those two. And like at some point randomly in the show, I will interrupt and be
Okay.
like, you know, what it
That's my
is,
third
you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you're gonna.
I'm gonna point. I'm gonna be like, oh, you know what the
Jeez.
third one is? It's
All right.
something.
Netflix. That's an interesting one though. But
I
like,
agree.
I don't know that I watch Netflix on my phone on the go. Like,
don't.
you know,
I
I've
do.
got it installed just in case one
I
day.
do.
YouTube.
YouTube's
I
a big
can't
one.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know how people just find random videos and watch them. Like it just no.
Audible would be a big one.
Audible.
Yeah,
I
probably.
love
I'm gonna go with Audible. That's
Oh,
me interrupting
wait,
right now. I'm
Wait,
like Audible.
podcast. The podcast apps.
Podcast
How do we
app,
not
yeah.
even?
My phone comes with a
Oh,
podcast. app.
shut up.
I mean, I don't listen to a lot of podcasts.
Oh, I do.
listen to ours, but I don't listen to ours on the podcast networks.
Right,
Like,
right.
You know, I'm the one that mixes it at my computer. So by the time I've listened to it like 3-4 times to
You're
You don't need to
done.
edit the show, I
re-download
don't
it?
need to
No.
re-download it,
Right,
yeah.
I hear that.
But did you give 5 stars on the podcast?
No, because I feel like that would be unethical. But if you wanted to give us 5 stars,
I already
then-
did.
Did
This
you?
is the
That's
first
awesome.
time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh,
You're welcome.
Thank you so
You're welcome.
much.
well,
All right. So since you were on the show already, and since you just did a nice recap of what you do for BIA, and since the new year is coming and resolutions and goal setting for work and all that stuff.
Fun stuff.
Right.
Time.
It's a nonstop party, right? We thought that it would be a good idea to talk about networking, because networking is a thing that you and I do basically professionally. It is a thing that I've been doing it for my whole career, and I've been doing this since I don't want to.
Wow, you
she's
backed
like,
yourself
I'm
into a
not
corner
going
on that
to,
one.
like, say the
Almost
years.
15 years.
Wow.
I've been doing this almost 15 years. Yeah, so we thought that it would be interesting and fun to talk about some tips and tricks as it relates to networking. So should we just like roundtable and see where we go?
Start with you. Tell us about some of your networking experiences, things you've learned.
So one of the things that I have learned is that you don't have to have a new opening line with every person that you talk to at an event. So and I have found that many people are afraid of networking because they don't know what to say. And a very easy fix, it's a cliche, but you start with the weather. For example, we just had a huge snowstorm. How'd you make out on the storm the other day?
Actually, I did. I can't complain. We were here at
I wasn't
BIA.
really asking you.
Okay. See how well that worked? I was ready to just flow right into the conversation.
Yeah,
Good job,
right?
Kate.
And then once you've hit weather, then you move on to whatever holiday just happened or is coming up. So, hey, any plans for Thanksgiving? What are you doing for the holidays? Are you going anywhere? What are you doing for New Year's? Any plans for Valentine's Day? You got kids, right? Easter. How is the Easter Bunny coming to your house this weekend? Like, it's very easy to just work the calendar and the holidays and figure out what people are doing. And my last trick. This is not a tip, it's a trick. I work very hard at remembering people's names, and I'm not always very successful at it. The trick to getting people to remind you without letting them know that you've forgotten is to only ask for half. So if you can't remember somebody's name, be like, I can't remember your last name. What is it again? As soon as they say their last name, usually your brain will give you their first name. Yeah. Yeah.
I need to try that one.
It's good. It works.
You don't go
every
to a lot
time.
of networking events where they have the name tag or whatever?
Sometimes people have too much hair.
Oh.
Sometimes it's
stickers,
just
like,
sometimes the sticker's falling off. Yeah, it doesn't always work.
It's just hard to look at someone's
It's too obvious.
Yeah,
it's too obvious.
Hi.
Right. And sometimes they'll do a lanyard with a name tag, and then literally you're looking at this region, and it's just not appropriate. It's not okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
We should revolutionize the networking event. Put the tag somewhere else.
We could. Now,
I don't know where else you would do it.
So
though.
actually, there's a science behind it.
Okay.
The name tag should go on the right.
Wait. I can do this. So it's when you're shaking
That's
hands, right? And
Your
I
eye
look
line,
right there.
that's exactly right. Your eye line goes right to the right shoulder. It should be there. But the other thing to do, gosh, I didn't even think how much I have to say on this.
Yeah.
So one trick is to only put your first name on your name badge, because it forces people to say, what do you do? As opposed to if you've got your first name, your last name, and the company, they can be like, oh, I don't want to talk to you. Oh, you're not a decision maker. I don't care about that.
But I feel like I would want them to know that before they get into a conversation with me, and then halfway through they're like losing interest, like, I don't want to talk to this guy.
I mean, that happens, and certainly you're all free to move on, and a nice way to extricate yourself from a conversation is to say, gotta keep working the room, I'll see you later, good luck. You know what I mean? Like, we're all there to work the room. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daniela?
So I've been doing this for what now? 2 years? Have I been here 2 years? I think so.
I feel like you've been here longer, but I guess 2 years is 2 years.
I think longer, because you came in the summer, so it's got to be like 2.5 now.
Okay, so 2.5 years of networking.
Yeah.
So one of my tricks, especially when I'm working the room and it's room full of women, is commenting on something that they wear.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's a good one.
Yeah, if they have
I
a
use
really
that.
nice scarf, if they have a
Love
really
your
nice
shoes, you
yeah,
know?
a purse or anything like
Yeah.
that. That's like how I try to break the ice. Like, oh my goodness, I love your shirt. Where did you get it?
We stalked a woman at an event once.
We did,
And your opening was, I love your purse.
It did.
Yeah.
Why
It was
did you
fun.
stalk a woman at our network?
Because she was with a company that we wanted to get, and we got her.
All right.
It only took like 11 months.
I know. It took 11 months later they were in, but that was the opener.
Yep, that's how I got her.
Totally.
So
That's great.
It's easier. So yeah, always look at something, and even if you don't find anything,
It works for men
jewelry-
too, as long as you're not lying. I love your tie. That's a great tie.
Yeah, but sometimes for men, depending, like if it's a cocktail hour, I'll ask them what they're drinking. So what are you drinking tonight?
You don't ask women that?
No, I've never tried it.
Well, what's the science in your head behind? That's what I want to know. Like, why only men?
I think because it's socially acceptable for men to drink at events, and it's not for women.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. I don't feel comfortable drinking at work events. I'll do it every once in a while if it's very, very social, but otherwise...
Yeah, I don't know. It's easier for me to work the room in the cocktail hour and ask, what are you drinking? Or what are you having? When it comes to networking with men. And then with women, my trick's always to comment on something that they wear or their hair. I've even used perfume. I'm like, you smell so good. And the lady was like, oh my God, thank you. It's new. And that's how I started off the conversation. Another tip that I use is the same thing. I've tried the weather. I've done that. And then sometimes it's just letting them talk about themselves. Like
people love to talk about themselves, which is why work the calendar of the event. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? What are you doing for this? Blah, blah, blah.
Like sometimes
what do you do? Tell me how long you been doing it? Where you at?
Where did you start?
Where do you live? Are you from New Jersey? People love
what
to talk
area?
about themselves.
You know, and the more that they tell me about themselves, and they might start picking up and saying things of what they do, and then I'll be able to plug my line. But it was a learning process. Like at first, when I first started networking, I didn't know what I was doing, and I think I was just like giving my elevator pitch, and I was like getting nowhere.
Right.
And now I'm like, no, wait a minute. Like let them talk about themselves, and then I'll put myself in.
Yeah.
And be able to, you know, see and how we work together and give them my spiel. 30 seconds or less elevator speech. But yeah, so like I think that's the easier things. Though when I first started, I was like very nervous and I just wouldn't talk to anyone, and I would wait for people to come to talk
When I
to
first
me.
started, I hung out at the food table and just prayed that nobody wanted to talk to me.
That sounds like me.
Like I remember I used to be very nervous, and I used to have like my hands like all rolling around like when I'm talking to people, or like I
like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah, I was very closed off, and I think people could tell that I was closed off, so they were like, oh, you have to relax and like be more open and welcoming to people. And I'm just like, I don't know how to do this. I'm socially awkward. Like people.
The thing is, everybody hates it. Everybody feels socially awkward in these situations.
Yeah.
And if you can find some empathy inside you and relate to people on that level.
And it is exhausting. Like sometimes
God,
we do
it's so exhausting.
2 networking events back to back, and you're drained because you have to deal with so many people, so many energies.
I used to do like 2 to 3 late nights a week, and there was a couple of weeks a year where it would be late night followed by early morning, late night followed by early, like back to back, like not a lot of sleep in between. And then after that early morning, go to the office, work all day, and then go to the next event that night. I could never have done this job if I had kids. I'm just standing right there. There's just no way. There's no way. It's exhausting. But worth it. I mean, if you are in sales and your job is to meet new people, it's the only way to do it.
Networking.
Yeah, networking
is the key.
Yeah. So do you ever network, Vin?
I'm not as much as anybody should. I'm the shy kid that hangs out by the food. Actually, you were saying like wishing somebody would come talk to me. I was recently at our Awards for Excellence event.
Yeah.
We do this awards show once a year, and recently they started having me film interviews with every winner that gets shown at the event. So every single company in the room knew me. And I knew every single company in the building.
How was that for you?
It was weird. Like, by virtue of the fact that I had gone around and done all the interviews, I was the commonality in the room that everyone knew. And so, like, everybody was coming up to network with me, and I'm like, wow, this is strange. I don't know this. You know? So,
funny.
Yeah, so it forced me out of my shell, and I had to be, like, networker guy for a day. But
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But normally, I'm the guy that's, like, trying to do something else while the networking at our events is going on. Like, you know, got to do that 9th check that the camera is set up properly.
Well, you have a big job at our events. Like, Vinny is responsible for all of our AV, basically.
Yeah, the AV stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's an AV company, but Vinny's the one who plugs in our camera and live streams it and records it and gets all this stuff. Yeah.
So, I mean, that 9th check, not entirely superfluous.
That's exactly right.
It needs to happen.
It needs to happen.
But it will happen when I'm uncomfortable because people are coming for me.
Totally.
But no, one of the things that I heard once that stuck with me, somebody said when you see a group of people, it can be easier to talk to a group rather than approaching one person like specifically. And sometimes it can be awkward coming into a group conversation. Yeah. So they were saying like one thing that they did was they would come up to a group and be like, what am I interrupting? And like then that forces people to kind of like talk, because then they got to talk about what they're talking about and say hi and all that.
What am I interrupting?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be probably too harsh though. Sometimes.
Well, I mean, you don't have to say, like, what am I interrupting here? But, you know, like, there's a nice way to say anything. But, that stuck with me. So, like, when I'm at events and I'm networking, I usually go up to groups.
Yeah.
You know? And then, you know, bonus, you can meet, like, 4 people instead of...
Exactly.
It's true.
That is true.
It's totally true. Besides, what if you go up to a single person and they tend to be a dud? That's really annoying.
That's been awkward, too.
Yeah,
where it's, like,
awkward.
The moment of awkwardness, and I'm like, I need to get out of this.
In fact, when I was first coming up, when I was your age, somebody... Shut up. What
I was just like, where
that?
did that come from? Like, when I was your age.
When I was Daniela's age, not your age.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
At the camera,
She's young and I'm old, so I'm just saying, when I was her age and somebody was trying to give me advice on networking, one of the things that they said was, go up to somebody who is also alone, because they're probably feeling awkward and weird. And I did that a couple times, and it did not go so well because they were awkward and weird, and I was too. And it's much better and easier to do with group. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about follow-up. Like, what do you do after a networking event?
All right, so you've got like a fistful of business cards, right?
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Absolutely. So you take them back to your desk, immediately find them all on LinkedIn, connect. I'm doing the typing thing.
Yeah.
And then send a follow-up email. And the email should not be longer than like a sentence or 2.
Yeah.
How long? Is this like the dating thing? Like, you know, you go on a date and there's like a set amount of time and you have to like
it's
wait.
not like dating. Although, I will say, nobody wants to date somebody who's desperate. So if your follow-up gets to be like...
It's like you turned around.
Yeah,
and
I need you to join.
Right, exactly. No, don't ever be desperate.
Unless it's someone like you know it's certain. So sometimes what I do is after I meet someone, I always have a pen on me. So I'll write on the back of the card, like this
Like a
person
note.
is really, really interested, because if I'm meeting so many people and now I go back
You
to
don't
my
always
desk
remember.
and I'm like, what did this person want?
Yeah.
Or what did this person say?
I almost never remember my conversation, so I always have a pen to write on the back of the card a note or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, emails have to be short and sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very short
And the
sweet.
email should be, hey, it was great meeting you last night. Would love to get together for lunch or coffee.
Or something like-
Yeah, you want more FaceTime.
Yeah.
But like outside of the general hubbub of life.
Yeah.
You want like a closer connection.
And you still...
And you do that with everybody that you meet at a network?
Not everybody. I vet them first. If somebody is not a good prospect for me, I'll still send the email and say it was great to meet you. Let me know if there's ever anything I can do for you, or let me know if there's, I'll send a nice hey, how are you kind of email. But I won't ask for a follow-up face-to-face unless it's somebody that I think we can both work with.
And I always attach the application just like as a quick reminder. Like, hey,
joining NJBI.
Right.
Yeah, so like as a small plug, like I know we talked a lot, but I wanted to share some information about what we do and what we stand for. But if you want to talk more, let me know, or something along those lines. But
So giving somebody an opportunity to actually follow up and do that.
Yeah. There's actually a philosophy on that. I can't remember. Andy Goal is his name, and his company is Bombadil. He has this whole philosophy where he asks, I know, it's named after Tom Bombadil from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, right? So his philosophy is that you should make the prospect buy in a little. They should have to work for it a little bit. So if they want that application, they have to meet with you. So I know. I went through
That's interesting. Like the other school of thought would be like make it as easy as possible.
Correct. Remove all barriers.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you want them to be willing to do a little bit, because they have to do a little work. They have to fill out the application. They have to actually cut a check. They have to do the credit card something. And you want them to want to do that. So if you play a little hard to get, sometimes they're more willing.
Okay.
I know. It's an interesting philosophy that has sometimes worked and sometimes not.
It's a hit and miss too.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes I've met people that are like, yes, sign me up right now. Like, can you take this application at this event? And you're like, okay, sure.
And that's when you want the little card reader
exactly.
that we don't in your
have,
phone,
so
right?
we
That we
just
don't have.
So we're going on break then, right?
I think we are. All right, time for a break.
All right.
And we're back, and it is time to play Awful or Awesome. I will explain the rules, even though you guys have both done it before.
We're
Have we?
veterans.
Just kidding.
Do you not remember the whole apple or apple conversation?
Apple versus Apple. I forgot all about that.
That was a great time.
I know.
I was Apple the company versus Apple the fruit.
I had to make sure. I wasn't sure. You know, they're both great.
It's true.
I mean,
well, no,
anyway,
I think
no.
Actually, you know what's funny about that episode is that like it was the Rubik's Cube we were talking about. We were so set on awful that we were talking over Daniela, who said awesome, and like it didn't even occur to me until I re-listened to the episode. I was like, wow, Daniela said that was awesome, and we totally were just like, yeah, we all said it was awful. But yeah, anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to name 3 things, and we each have to decide quickly whether they're awful or awesome and defend our answers.
Got it.
All right, ready?
Got it.
Soccer.
Awesome.
Awful.
Awful.
Oh
Best
my
sport
God.
ever.
Inaccurate.
What?
Baseball is the best sport ever, first of all.
Baseball.
Second of all.
Over soccer?
Yeah.
Baseball's long.
It's the thinking man sport.
Really? Are they thinking?
I don't know.
What are they thinking about? Which angle I gotta hit the ball?
Yeah, it's very difficult to hit the ball
Actually,
with
that is a thing, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've got all these different kinds of like how to hold up like a knuckleball or a curveball or.
It's too long.
Well, it can be long.
It is long.
But
Baseball's long.
It's
I've
long.
heard Vinny rant about soccer, and he's got a very, very, very well thought out reason why it's awful.
It's just terrible.
Why? How? It is a great sport.
Please.
No, so soccer is awful. First of all, like, I guess 90% of the soccer we watch in this country, probably 99% of the soccer we watch in this country, is performed by children. So, like, you know what I mean? Like nobody watches professional soccer.
Right, and we have a professional soccer team in New Jersey that nobody watches.
Unfortunately, yeah.
The Red Bulls. And
Yeah.
I've heard they're great. They have their own stadium and everything.
I know.
Yeah, see, you guys are talking American soccer. I'm talking about like South American, worldwide soccer.
Yeah.
Well, I did say in this country.
Right,
but,
in this
like,
country.
And I did like preface it with like 90 to 99%. I'm sure there are people who watch like, especially around World Cup, people watch like
Yeah, they
professional
do.
soccer.
No,
And
but the European League, a lot of people are either Real Madrid or Barcelona fans. Real Madrid all the way, by the way. Just
Yeah.
saying. Also
Okay.
to your listeners, Real Madrid. If you're
I'll-
Barcelona, we're not friends.
I'll throw some,
Wow.
support.
Oh,
to
that's
the
the
Real.
biggest. That is the biggest rivalry. You're either Real or you're either Barcelona.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Usually I'm either Tom's Pizza Shop or the Home Depot.
Pizza Hut or Domino's.
Yeah, exactly. Like who's sponsoring this set of kids? You know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exactly how it is.
no,
in
like
the
so
soccer
most,
world.
yeah. So beyond the World Cup, most of the soccer we watch in this country is performed by 9-year-olds who don't know what they're doing. So it's just awful.
Yeah.
And like, it's a sport where an offensive slugfest is like categorized by 1 or 2 to
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I heard somebody say once, would it be so ridiculous to make the nets bigger or smaller and remove the goalie? Like, why is it that like no shot can go through, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's
That's
the beauty
boring
of it,
to
though.
me.
Well, I don't know. See,
I'm sure it is the
in
beauty
South
of it.
America, it's like predominantly the sport.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, the whole world, I think, like
Yeah, the world
yeah,
is
but for
predominantly
us,
sport.
like I remember, like since we were 3, my father was like, "You're gonna learn today. You're gonna watch the game. You're going to play."
You were one of those 9-year-olds, huh?
Yeah, I
Forced
was.
on the field.
every 9-year-old is forced
Yeah.
onto the field.
My sister wasn't though. She rebelled. She said no. No,
I mean,
thank you.
I just want to make this clear. Like, as a culture, we have put down soccer so much that we were like, football? No. Let's scrap the whole thing, come up with something else.
No, but-
we'll call it football.
It's,
Yeah.
well, for me, when I got to this country, they used to say, "Oh yeah, let's watch the football game," and I thought it was football.
Yeah.
Soccer.
You're like, what is this?
And they're like, "No, this." They're throwing the ball. And I'm
It
like,
is
"What is
so
this?"
weird that we did that.
Yeah, it was
It is
very
so weird.
No, it's not, because soccer is awful.
Yeah.
You know?
And American football,
somebody was brave
apparently-
enough to be like, I'm going to remake this whole thing. It's going to be better.
American football.
I
That's
think
how we
American
know
football
it.
is also awful, but
I agree with that.
I don't.
but
I've
that's
never
just
seen
what
a
I'm saying.
full-
Yeah.
yeah.
I've never seen a full game.
So-
I don't even know what it
It's
entails.
irrelevant. You don't need
Okay,
to.
cool.
You don't need to.
See,
okay.
I always get yelled at for that. They're like, you don't
No.
watch football? And I'm like, what is that?
Stop it. No. So full disclosure, my goddaughter has been a soccer nut since she was like a tiny thing. And now
As she should be.
Now she's 14 years old and she plays in a club league.
As she should be.
So she plays year round
Yep.
in 14-degree weather. And her travel league goes all over the Northeast.
Yeah.
And she loves it and she plays. She's in great shape. And she's got like this whole group of friends that are outside of school. Like somebody told me once, they were talking about their kid and they were like, it's his first network. And I was like, that's psychopathic. Like your kid does not need a network when he's 12. That's crazy to me. But I think it works for some kids. Like if they're jocks, it's a good sport to play. Whatever.
Hashtag networking tips. Right?
Yeah,
Right, I
networking.
guess.
Put your kid in soccer at a very early age.
I decided when I was in high school, I decided that I was out of shape and I really needed to join a sport or do something. So I went out for soccer.
How was
and
that?
it was awful.
Why?
Well, because I'm out of shape.
I thought you were going to say it was awesome. Because I'll give you that. Like, it's probably great for getting in shape. You're just running back and forth
You
for
do.
2 hours.
The problem is I hated it, so I didn't do it.
My coach
so,
used to make us run 7 miles.
Oh, that's-
and that's how long.
talk about pathological.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Well, I was
No.
a left wing, so I had to run.
I don't even know what that
Front.
means.
Okay,
I don't
so
find that.
defense.
Don't explain it to me. I don't care.
All I did was
I'm
run up
assuming
and down.
it's like you're on the left of the field. So, but then again...
You say left wing, and I think about like Star Wars and like the
Really?
I thought about politics.
Did you?
Touche.
So anyway, I went to all the practices, but I skipped all of the soccer games because I didn't want my shame to be that public.
Wow.
That would have been hilarious, though. See you on the soccer field.
Hilarious for everyone but me. It was horrible.
How old are we talking here?
I was high school. It was like sophomore
okay.
year.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like a freshman or sophomore. I was probably a sophomore.
And they just let you join the high school soccer
It
team?
was like Catholic school, so yeah, as long as my parents
'Cause
ponied up
nobody
the money,
cares.
you're right. Nobody.
Exactly.
I think it was like $40, and my mom like she's
For
having a
what?
good day.
You've got $40 to dream and patience for a lot of boring soccer.
I know.
By all means,
I
join
know.
the team.
God, it was awful. Anyway, all right, are we done?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Awful.
Awful.
Awesome.
Next up is
And we're going to apologize to Daniela for that last time that she said something was awesome. We were like, we all thought it was awful.
Yeah, apologies. Okay.
Oh.
Not accepted, but it's okay. Next.
Lucas talking over somebody now.
I'm going to play Thank You Next.
Adam Sandler movies.
Horrible.
Awful.
Yeah, I'm with you. Horrible. If there's a
Horrible.
worse than awful, I would go with that.
Yeah. I mean, the Razzies, there was that one year they gave Adam Sandler every single Razzie Award for worst. It was like worst picture, worst actor. He played his sister in that movie, so it was like worst actress. It was like worst screenplay.
Deserved.
Everything.
It was
Yeah.
really
So
weird. That movie
deserved.
was really weird. Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill.
So
Yeah.
terrible. Okay, but you know the movie that sticks with me as beyond awful to inappropriate. Do you remember Billy Madison?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember how he had to go through all of the grades in graduate high school, starting with kindergarten? Do you remember the kindergarten teacher?
Yeah. Bridget Wilson?
I know.
Bridget
It doesn't
something?
matter.
Yeah.
She was beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
Right.
She was Sonya Blade in the Mortal Kombat movie. And she was in Last Action Hero.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't need
I have
to know
no
that.
idea.
Last
what you're
Action
talking
Hero is a
about.
good movie.
Actually, you're right. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Never
That's
seen it.
Bruce Willis.
No.
No. What am I thinking?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What am I thinking of?
Last Action
Last
Hero.
Boy Scout. I'm thinking of Last Boy Scout, which is a great movie.
So then have you not seen Last Action Hero?
Correct.
Wow. Last
never
Action
seen any
Hero
of
is
them,
basically
so-
about this kid that's like obsessed with movies and like he accidentally like goes into the
Sounds
film.
like you.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Sounds like a really
Yeah, and like there's all these like things where they're tongue in cheek playing on the whole like nature of like there was a point where he's trying to prove to everybody that they're in a movie and he writes a curse word down on a piece of paper and he hands it to Arnold Schwarzenegger and he can't say it because it's not like an R-rated movie.
Right.
You know, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway, Billy Madison.
Sure.
She ends up dating Adam Sandler.
Right.
She's dating a student
Yes. Yeah.
In the movie.
in the movie. It just
Yeah.
felt kind of icky to me.
Yeah.
I've never
But I
seen
mean,
that.
he's only a student of hers for like a week.
Yeah, but she still works at the school that he works at, or that he goes to.
Sure.
He is icky.
Yeah, I mean, they're Adam Sandler movies. They're, and I mean, Billy Madison is actually like one of the better
One of the better
Yes.
ones.
I'd give you Happy Gilmore. You know, that
Yeah.
was like his breakout
Yeah.
one. And Big Daddy,
Right.
which was
Big
great.
Daddy was
Yeah.
a great movie.
But I feel like
Beyond
that didn't have his fingerprints all over it. That was written, directed, and produced by somebody with actual talent.
Okay, I'll give you
He
that.
was just the actor.
I don't know
Just
who
the
it
actor in
was,
it.
but yeah.
No. I think if we Googled it, we would find that somebody with actual talent
Wrote and did the,
did the work, and he just started
They
it.
were just like, we're just gonna bring you in.
It wasn't like the standard Adam Sandler vehicle where he just walks around and makes fart noises.
Joey Lauren Adams was in that one. That was
Yeah, she was.
You should watch that movie.
Whatever happened to
Great
her?
movie.
I don't know. But like, yeah, now that I think about it, like, yeah, it was Chasing Amy and that, and I can't think of anything else she's been in.
She said bye.
Yeah, pretty
Wow.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
She probably
amazing.
make money and was like, okay, I'm done.
I met her at Comic Con.
much
She was
money could she-
adorable.
I bet she's adorable.
Yeah.
She's got that great voice.
Yeah.
How much money could she have made in Chasing Amy?
You know what?
Nothing,
Now that you
though.
mentioned the voice, like, she had a very similar voice to like Jennifer Tilly. I'm sure like Jennifer Tilly might have made it big. And we were like,
Totally.
we only need one person in Hollywood.
That's inaccurate. It's an adorable voice.
It is.
All right, last one. Christmas decorations before Christmas time.
People, why?
People, why?
Did you see that meme everywhere this week where they were saying snowstorms in November
That's why.
is due to the fact of people
Exactly.
decorating before Christmas?
I blame them.
Cause and effect.
Everyone who put their Christmas tree up before Thursday, you're blamed for the snow.
Yeah.
I give you what is it? Black Friday is the start of
It's the official
Yes.
start date.
Christmas
Totally.
season.
And that's when you're supposed to put your tree up and have Christmas music going on.
Before that, I don't want to hear anything
Me
about it.
either. I don't want to see Christmas lights.
I was in Japan on Halloween, and they don't have Thanksgiving,
Halloween
obviously.
is an awesome holiday.
So first of all, Japan loves Halloween.
My kind of country.
I swear to God, like it was like New Year's Eve here, but without the end time for when the ball comes down. It's midnight, everybody goes home. It was 3 a.m. and I could still hear the music, the bass from the music on the 8th floor of my hotel. And it was a capsule hotel, so there were no windows.
So I don't typically think of Halloween as like a music playing holiday. What
No.
do they do to celebrate Halloween in Japan?
They blast
I'm gonna
music.
hijack this entire thing. We're gonna talk about Halloween instead.
They blast music in the street, and it's a huge drink fest. People dress up in costume.
My type of people. Drink
They
fest.
mass the streets like we were like sardines. It was impossible to go anywhere.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, in fact, we were trying to walk to a restaurant, and we ended up just giving up and going into the closest restaurant we could find because
Okay.
there was no way to get there.
Do they do trick or treating at all, or is that just
No, not that I'm aware of. I mean,
just
I was in
party animals.
Tokyo, so we didn't have kids. I didn't see any kids. I just saw like people in their 20s dressed up as everything under the sun. Alice in Wonderland, Pikachu.
Oh, my type.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Dogs. They were dressed in like full head on like dog.
Yeah, that
Wilfred.
was-
Do you remember that show, Wilfred? Yes.
Elijah Wood?
Yes,
Yeah.
Elijah Wood.
How do you know all these names?
Wilfred is you
Wilfred.
haven't seen that? It's a
Oh my
show about
God.
a guy. I guess he's crazy.
I guess. I think he has to be crazy.
Yeah, his next door neighbor has a dog that
Okay.
he dog sits or walks or whatever. And like when everybody else sees the dog, they see the dog. When he sees the dog, he sees like a 6-foot guy in a dog costume that talks to him.
Yeah, with an Australian accent who
Yeah.
says really inappropriate things and gets him
Yeah.
into trouble. And
Yeah.
I need
it's
to
awesome.
check that out.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
It occurs to me I never finished it. I guess are they
Oh
done?
yeah, it's long over.
So I guess like I probably missed the last season, but I should go back and rewatch that.
I bet you could find it somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on like Netflix now.
I would think
Find the
so.
first
But
season.
that was
Yeah.
definitely worth it. You should check
All
that
right.
out.
So
Add it to
anyway,
the
they
list.
don't have Thanksgiving in Japan. So on November 1, Christmas music was in all the stores. All of them. Because people are like hyped about Christmas.
Oh,
November
no.
1.
Huh.
No.
It was bizarre. And you know, my friends, the group that I was with, they were like complaining about it immediately. And I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? It is a beautiful damn time of year. Embrace it. Just embrace it. Sing along. Love it.
See, like in my country,
was weird.
Oh, yeah.
we start getting ready for Christmas on November.
Did you say in my country?
Yeah, like
Which
Venezuela.
country? Venezuela.
Venezuela.
Like,
Because you don't have Thanksgiving either,
we don't
right?
have Thanksgiving.
Why would you?
So it starts, yeah. Which, by the way, let me put this out there. I just like Thanksgiving. It takes the spotlight around my birthday because my birthday's November 25th. So it falls around that time. I've never been a fan of Thanksgiving because it's my time.
Oh, it's
my
interesting.
birthday.
Like, yeah.
And
yeah, I feel
people
the same
forget,
way.
and people can't party with me because it has to be Thanksgiving. And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's me.
I do kind of wish that I were allowed to decorate for Christmas before Thanksgiving because then I can enjoy the lights and the tree for longer. But I guess I agree that
No, it's way too much. Like, I don't want to walk into the store
they're
and
so
see
pretty.
everything. And-
Oh, I see what you mean.
yeah, it's overwhelming. And people are like going crazy for holidays and
Yeah,
like
they are.
holiday shopping. And
Yeah,
I'm
they
just
are.
like,
That's annoying. I agree.
relax. Like,
I was talking to one of my neighbors, and she's from Canada. And she was telling me how, like, she has all these Thanksgiving plans. And I was like, oh, do you celebrate that now because you live in America? And she's like, no, in Canada we have Thanksgiving too. And I was like,
It's a different day, though.
Did you also have pilgrims? Like, well, why do you celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada? Apparently they celebrate the solstice, and I guess they just call it Thanksgiving. But, yeah.
They celebrate the solstice?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that around that time?
It is.
No, I thought the
That's how she
solstice
explained
is
it to me.
Christmas. That's where we got Christmas from. Because...
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe she just meant like the changing of the season. Like,
okay,
it's an excuse to buy a turkey and like have your family over.
But you know that December 25th was chosen not arbitrarily, but because of the solstice.
Oh,
I did not know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was
The more
like
you know.
one of the history things that I had to learn. So,
Put in that degree to use, I see.
do you know, like in the Christmas story, the cattle were lowing in the fields?
Yes.
There's nothing growing in December. Like it was harvest time.
Even there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say not everywhere in the world has the same.
No, that's true. But
ecosystem that we do, yeah.
they changed the date because when Catholicism took over the world, they had to convert forcibly the people who were already there, and people worship the sun and the moons, and it was solstice.
So we just all agree this is the day we should be celebrating stuff.
Yeah. In fact,
insert baby Jesus story in there.
that's exactly right. That's what they did.
Colonization with the use of religion.
The new year used to be in April, and they decided that it made more sense for it to be closer to Christmas because it was such a big holiday. That's where April Fool's comes from.
Huh.
Look
Right?
at that. Who knew a history could be
I thought
so
it was just like
interesting?
some dude was
History.
just like he did some jerk thing to somebody and then like used that as a justification for it. Like, oh no. There's this holiday that you don't know about. And today's the day I'm supposed to do jerk things.
No.
Wow.
I know, it's interesting, right?
And because we're talking about Christmas so much, we should throw a shout out to the Hanukkah song by Adam Sandler.
It's the only good thing he ever
The
did.
only good thing he ever contributed to this world.
But just
At least
the first version, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The first
Just the
version.
first-
Before we started rehashing it like 11, 12
God,
times.
I don't need to know the names of every Jewish person in the world. Like Adam Sandler, thank you so much, but come on. The first one was great.
The first one was great.
Yeah. All right. Is that our show?
I guess that's our show. That's all the awful or awesomes we have?
Yeah, I think
That's all
so.
awful?
Yeah.
Oh, but before we go, so Daniela, you're our member recruitment person.
Yes.
If somebody wanted to join NJBIA, tell us how they could do that.
So one thing is you can definitely get in contact with me. My email is dvelez@njbia.org.
VELEZ.
Yeah. Thank you for spelling it right.
Great.
Yeah, I appreciate
It's not that difficult. Like,
You never know. I've had Valdez. Valdez? Yeah, I've had crazy names. So
Alright.
yes. And then another thing, if you're listening and you are a member, thank you. And if you are a member and you know of any other companies that may want to join, or you think one of your friends has a company that should be joining, you can definitely send them a referral. We have a referral program.
Oh.
So it's a 20/20 type thing. So if you're a member, you get a $20 gift card to Amazon, and the company that you referred will get 20% off from the first Juice
Pretty
membership.
sweet deal.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet deal.
Yeah,
I
so
like
you
it.
know, everybody wins. And then if you're a new listener and you're not a member, you should totally become a member.
Absolutely.
Oh, obviously.
Right? And then keep
Obviously.
listening to you guys.
100%.
That's where it really needs to happen.
Yeah. And give a 5-star review.
Of course.
This is why we have Daniela on for the
thank
third
you.
unprecedented time on our show.
Repeat. Do we need to pay? Do we need to like get in touch with
We
him?
might
and
have
pay?
to give Pat Riley money.
Yeah. Can I get a sticker that says that?
3-peat.
Yeah.
Ah.
With your logo
Three-peat.
of the podcast?
I'll make it.
great
I'll put it
idea.
together in Photoshop.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
You can put it in your email, at the bottom with
Exactly. And I'll
And then send an email to Rashad.
Yeah, exactly. With the episode, be like, here you go. I'm winning.
Huh?
We
Little
gotta
behind the
tab.
scenes, Rashad was telling me that he wanted to have his wife and co-owner, I would say,
Yes.
of Domain, Michelle Bourgeois.
She's
Michelle.
amazing.
I don't know if that counts
No,
as
it
like
doesn't.
a fourth or a third appearance.
No, it has to be him.
It has to be him?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
call it even.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she'd be great though.
She's amazing.
I like Michelle.
Look
Big
forward to
shout out
that.
to her.
We're going to get that together at some point soon.
Love it. All right. So thank you to our listeners, especially the subscribers. I can't believe I can read this. Can you see the big white
Again,
line?
yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube.
By the way, we
Kate needs more
have
toner.
like
I need more toner.
4 copier machines in our floor alone.
You know
Yeah.
how like when you click print, the last place you printed is automatically populated? I just was in a hurry and I just clicked, and then I didn't want to waste the paper by throwing this away and reprinting.
I guess it worked out. I mean, like, you can't see, I guess, if you
Half
can't
of
see
it.
this, the middle of the page
Right.
just has a big white column going through it.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to extrapolate or interpolate, I guess.
Get it from context.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, context clues.
And you guys are the only ones reading the script.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, thanks to New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, the official sponsor of the show. Shout out to John Hardiman, who's a listener. Woo! They do home, auto, and workers' comp, so check them out. And thank you to Daniela Velez for
Thank
coming
you
on the
much.
show.
having me.
Our very first three-peat.
Yay!
All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Later.